Hello, hello, hello. Nice to see everybody. Sierra, I know you're here. Let me know that you can hear me okay because my earphones and microphone are broken. You can. Wonderful. Excellent. So how is everybody doing today? Tanya's with us. Yay. So good to have you here, Tanya. Delighted you could make it. I know that you've been looking forward to this session. I'm so excited about today's masterclass, how to make selling your superpower. I've got so much goodness to share in this masterclass, and you can hear me clearly. Thank you for letting me know, Tanya. So we're live on Zoom, and we're also live in the Facebook group. And I know some of you haven't been able to make it live because of other commitments. And you'll be watching this right now on playback, because we're going to make sure that that's available for you. So I'm going to try and toggle between, oh, hey, Mary. I'm going to try and toggle between Zoom and Facebook in a really seamless and graceful way. So wish me luck, because technology is not my forte, as you know. So we've got some chat already. Okay, Sarah can hear me. Mary is here. So for those of you who are on Zoom, you can type into the chat to ask any questions and share your insights, share your comments. The same for Facebook. You can, as Tanya, you've already done, you can type in the comments and I will make sure that I go in and check, because if there's specific questions, I'd love to attend to them. So we will be here for the next 30 minutes. We may be here for longer. You know me, if it's 30 minutes, it'll probably take an hour, especially if you've got good questions for me. So I am going to dive in because there's, as I said, there's so much good content that I want to share. Thank you, Mary. I think it's exciting too. Wow! So let me start with a few truths for you, my loves. Yeah, before I do that, thank you, Sarah, for sharing that. Make sure you're writing to all panelists and attendees so everybody can see. Here's what I want to share with you as a fundamental truth, that as a business owner, if you don't believe this, I want to invite you to accept this into your heart as a core belief, okay? Because it will make all the difference in your business. One is, and this might be a tough one, your income equals your impact. As someone who is driven by a mission, as someone who is driven to make a difference in the world, as somebody who is here with a business where you really care about helping to further a cause, to help people to transform and change. Perhaps you're a coach, perhaps you're a creative, maybe you're a photographer, maybe you have a global organization in the way that Mary does, where you teach and educate a whole field. So Mary's teaches and educates nurses, clinicians, therapists in trauma-informed care. Your income equals your impact. And if we were to break that down, it's a really simple way of saying, look, if you are not bringing in income to your business, you are not having the impact that is possible for you. Okay? So if you want to have a bigger impact, and my guess is if you're here listening to me and you're part of this community, even if you're just joining, you're here because you know you are here with a mission to fulfill. You know you desperately want to make a difference in the world. Am I right? Yes, big yes there. Great. So does that resonate? Does it make sense? So if you want to have a big impact, get ready to receive, sisters, right? And a few good brothers out there as well who I know are part of the group. Get ready to receive. You have to do the work to get ready to receive. And thank you. Yes, it's a simple correlation and there's no getting away from it. There's no shying away from it, right? So belief number 2, sales is love. Sales is love. Sales, when you have a business that is about making a difference in the world, the way you make that difference is by making sales. You cannot make the difference without it, right? That's what a business is. And what is money? Money is just an energy exchange. You receive money in exchange for your gift, your talent, your expertise, your knowledge, your skills. And so there we start to tap into the reality that, ooh, this is really about how much belief I have in myself that I am worth all that money. And that's some deeper layers. We might touch on some of the deeper stuff today, but what I want to do most of all is share some strategies with you. I'm going to talk about 5 do's and don'ts, okay? And like I said, jump in with your questions, jump in with your comments. So number 3, last truth. If you don't sell, you cannot fulfill your potential. As a business owner, if you don't make selling a regular, even daily activity in your business, you are not able to really shine your light as brightly as possible and fulfill your deepest, truest, biggest potential. And that's really what I'm interested in as a business mentor and as a coach. I can see you at your greatness. I can see everything that's possible for you. And it's so easy to me to see that, right? Everything that you are capable of, all of the possibility that exists. I can see it. I can see it all. And so your job and my job is to help you understand exactly what you need to do to get out of your own way to go and make that happen. Maybe it's a multiple 7-figure business that changes the world, that changes society. Maybe it's a business that gives you enough money to pay the bills comfortably and gives you time with your family. Neither is more valid or valuable than the other. What's important is that as you create your wildly successful business, it allows you to be the fullest expression of who you came here to be. So that's our truth. Now, if you invest in nothing else as a business owner, invest in your ability to sell well. It's just a no-brainer, right? It makes absolute sense. And when I talk about investing, I'm talking about financial investment, right? Learn, be trained, learn from the best about how you can get good at it. It's such a no-brainer of an investment because of the return that you get on that. But I'm not just talking about finances. I'm talking about time. Put the hours in to get good at it. Put the hours in to get comfortable with it. I'm talking about skills, knowledge, increase your skills, increase your knowledge. And I'm also talking about commitment. Also talking about your level of commitment to this. Because this is how people access your greatness, right? By you being able to make a really compelling invitation to them about the opportunity to work with you. That's what this is all about. Great, great, great. Ah, Meredith, Luciana, hey, so good to see you here. And Kavita, are you here as well? Amazing. So, I have literally spent thousands and thousands of pounds on this area of my development. And I was thinking about it last night when I was preparing for this session. I think I've worked with 8 gurus, some more closely than others. And I'm talking about the best people in the world at this stuff. And so that has been a fundamental aspect of me being able to create a really successful multiple 6-figure business that during which time I also had a baby. I didn't have any childcare. COVID hit, all of these external factors that in theory should kill your business and can. right? If you let it. But if you know what sales is and what it's not, and you're able to really relish the opportunity of selling what it is that you have, then those external events do not need to impact you negatively, right? Do not need to impact you negatively. So I really want you to remember that. So let's get going. So I've got 5 do's and I've got 5 don'ts. I might actually have a little bit more than 5 do's, but we'll 2 of them kind of link in with each other. Are we ready? Are we ready to go? Are you strapped in? Are we ready to rumble? And like I said, please do, if you've got questions, ask them. Okay. Okay, so do number 1. Connect. If you have a business, if you have a passion, even if you don't have a business, but you'd like one, I cannot stress enough, right? That the simplest way to get into a meaningful conversation that can result in a lucrative outcome for you and your business is to connect, create connections with people, really build relationships, nurture the existing relationships that you have, connect with people honestly, and stay connected with people, right? It's that simple. So there's different levels to this, or different layers to this. When you have a conversation with somebody that could turn into a sales conversation, create a connection with that person. People don't buy what it is that we have. Ultimately, people buy us. And people either know that you're for me or you're not. And so I want you to really feel confident that if you're here with, and you know you're here to make a difference in the world, you might not even know exactly how that looks, or you might not have it all mapped out. That's okay. We never do have it all mapped out, all right? But that if you know you're here to make a difference, there are people out there who are destined to work with you, right? There are people out there who are lined up to be your people. And so when you have a conversation with somebody, they're either going to be one of your people or they're not, right? It's that simple. And so you don't need to adopt sleazy tactics and persuasion techniques and all that kind of stuff, because the last thing that you want to do is persuade someone to work with you when they're not the right fit. It is not how you build a sustainable business, and it is absolutely not how you build a business that is fun, that feels easy, and that is in alignment with who you are when you're at your best. Because that's how I support people to create their business. It has to feel fun. There has to be a sense of ease to it, and it has to be aligned with who you are at your very best. Okay, make sense? So connect. As well as connecting within conversations, be the person who reaches out to connect. Be the person who follows up with people. Be the person who sends the email, who sends the message, who sends the voice note, who sends the letter to say, hey, how's it going? It's been so long. What's going on for you? Be that person, okay? That leads me on to point number 2. Just checking for questions. But that leads me on to point number 2. Point number 2 is, if you do nothing else each day, make sure you show up and serve. I literally built my business to 6 figures with a small baby by each day knowing what's the one thing I can do today where I can show up and just serve someone. And what I mean by that is, how can I support someone today? How can I do a good deed by someone today? How could I make someone's day a little better? How could I maybe there's a connection I can create for 2 other people that I think will be in either or both of their interests. How can you show up and serve, right? Is it a Facebook Live? Is it reaching out to somebody on LinkedIn? Is it reaching out to someone that you had a conversation with a couple of months ago, saying, you've been on my mind. I think this book could be a great resource for you. How's things going? Talk to me about where you're at. So show up and serve every day. Get creative about what that looks like. And here's the thing that's really important, right? This is so important, and it might seem counterintuitive. Expect nothing back in return. Okay? Don't expect anything back in return, because that's not how we show up and serve. Right? But know that by you taking that step every single day, you doing something to tell the world, to tell the universe, to tell your potential clients that I'm here and I'm ready and I want to do right by you. I'm here and I'm ready. And when you're ready, I'm still going to be here for you. Right? Even just helping people to remember that you exist. Because guess what? It's not their job to remember that you exist. It's your job to make sure they don't forget you exist. Right? Do you hear me on that? Do you agree with me on that? Okay. So point number 3. Point number 3. Arithmetic's not my best. Listen deeply. Listen deeply when you're connecting with people. And what's most important about that is do not listen to respond. Right? We feel like when we go into a sales conversation that we immediately need to like change gear, and we tense up and we get that feeling where we think, oh God, what's the point at which I can kind of like sell to them? No. I'll talk about this more when we talk about the don'ts. But listen deeply, not to respond. Listen to connect, and also listen to identify, is there a way that you could serve this person? Do they fit into your ideal client profile? Are they dealing with challenges or pain points where you think, ooh, that's something I could help with? And yes, by all means, ask questions, right? To elicit some of that information in a way that feels natural, and in a way where you're not putting somebody under pressure to perform or pressure to share information they might not feel ready to. But, so what are some of the things you're dealing with, and what are some of the struggles you're coming up against? Like, talk to me about that, right? Tell me about that. So just listen for the cues, listen for the struggles and the challenges. But don't listen to respond. Don't wait for the gap to just like jump in and start to sell. So next thing, just checking in on Facebook. Thanks, Sarah. I've seen she's like, show up and serve in big capital letters. Now, we want to listen deeply, not to respond. Let me be clear, we are always the leader of the conversation. We don't just let the conversation like meander willy-nilly. We absolutely want the conversation to have a sense of flow and a sense of depth, and to a degree a sense of purpose, because it's about connecting, right? So we listen deeply to respond, not to respond, but what we do want to help our lovely people who may be a prospective client is we want to help them to connect with what's possible. And so it's great to help people really connect with, well, what would you like it to look like? Think of some questions that will really help you to elicit that information. A question that I love is, if we could wave a magic wand, right, and anything's possible, what would you really love your business to look like in 12 months? Like, talk to me about that. Because it's fun. It takes people into a different state. It takes them into their imagination and out of their kind of logical left brain and a bit more into the right brain, which is more emotional. And we make decisions from emotion. We don't make decisions from logic. It just feels like that sometimes, but that's not really where we make our decisions from. So there's also some strategy and some neuroscience in there as well. It's not manipulative. It's fun, right? People love to talk about that stuff. Because people really, if they buy from you or when they buy from you, they're going to buy the transformation that you can help them to achieve, right? They're not buying the thing. The thing is just a vehicle, it's just a container through which you help them expand into the person or the business or whatever that they want to be more of, that they're being called to become. Make sense? Great. Okay. So help them connect with what's possible, help them connect with their vision. And it could be 12 months from now. What would an amazing result look like? Like, what would you love to be happening in your life? That would be more, because there's two types of conversation here, right? Let's talk about that as well, just briefly. There's a conversation where you purely want to connect with someone because you don't know, you've not agreed it's a sales conversation. Okay? And I'm going to tell you a little bit in the next few points about that and how you can do that without feeling sleazy. But sometimes it is a sales conversation and you both know that you're there to discuss, to understand the suitability of you to work together. And so you can be a little bit more direct. And the 12 months question, which is more specific, more direct, you could definitely ask that in what you know to be, whether you call it a discovery session or a sales call or, you know, a clarity call, whatever you call it, okay? You still want to help them connect with what's possible. So by now, whether it's a sales call or whether it's a connection call, you've likely got a strong sense of, are you vibing? Are they showing up with challenges where you know you can support them? And look, in a connecting call, remember that's not the purpose of the call, is to convert that person. It's purely about connecting, because they might know someone. They might have somebody in their network that could be a great fit to work with you. So the way that you can position an offer, which we're just getting onto, is number 4. I'm going to give you a few different ways of doing that. Okay. So how is this resonating with you? How are you? Totally great. Excellent, Tanya. Excellent. So how's this working out for you? Are you learning? Brilliant. Thanks, Mary. Good. So here's what you do need to do. Okay? Offer your help if that's what feels appropriate. If they feel aligned and you're confident that you can help them, offer your help. I'm going to give you some nice, very simple sentences to help you with that, okay? If they don't. It's so much better to always stay in alignment with what feels right to you. Now, that doesn't mean not stretching your comfort zone. So let me just spend just a couple of minutes on this, because I think it will add a lot of value. When you're growing, when you're in a growth spurt, right? When you're pushing yourself to grow, transform, and achieve more, it's inevitable you're going to feel discomfort, right? Because the whole thing is you're pushing yourself out your comfort zone, and that's not comfortable, okay? And we want you to lean into that type of discomfort because it's necessary. It's necessary. You might have butterflies in your tummy picking up the phone. That's okay. You've got it. You've got this, sister. You know, you've got this. You've got this down. Show up and serve, right? But if you feel that tug, that something pulls you out of alignment, which is different, and you need to learn to tune into this as a business owner, because that is also where your superpower lives, because your inner wisdom always knows the right move, right? And overthinking it, the monkey mind, that's what causes us to feel challenges. So, you know, when you have one of those like absolutely inspired, wicked ideas where you think, oh my God, that's a brilliant idea, and you sleep on it. And then the next morning, it's kind of lost a bit of its sparkle. It's lost a bit of its shine, because you start thinking, well, here's all the reasons why that might not be such a good idea. And you don't do anything with it. Those inspired ideas, when you feel like, ooh, that feels good, it feels in alignment. Run with it. Run like the wind with that. Now, that's a slight deviation. I've got a whole other masterclass on that. But the point I wanted to make is I wanted to talk about alignment. I wanted to give you a real strong sense of what it feels like. And when someone pulls you out of alignment, it's when you're having a conversation and it's like, oh, we're not really vibing. Like, it doesn't really feel like what they're presenting with is what I can help with. That's fine. Don't make an offer. What you can say is, once you've let them talk, always let them go first, but remember, you're leading the conversation, is, great, would you like to hear a little bit more about how I work with my clients? And no one's going to say no to that, right? And what you can do at that point is, if you feel aligned, if what they're presenting with, the challenges that they're presenting with, the opportunities and the vision that they have and how they want to transform what they want to achieve, if that is aligned with your ideal client profile, you can describe them. You can say, you know, the people that I work with are typically like this, they have these kind of challenges, what they really want to achieve is that. So let me give you an example. I might say, so the people that I typically work with are women, and they're business owners. And what they all have in common is that they have this deep desire, that it's more than a desire. Like, they have this deep need. It's like an urge that they need to make a difference. They've got this mission that feels so, so important to them. But their passion can really sabotage them because they care so much about getting it right and about doing the right thing and about being out there with their mission and making their business a success. They end up in overwhelm, they end up overworking, they end up splattering themselves, they can end up focusing on the things that don't add the most strategic value to their business. And often they won't have the systems and processes and strategies in place within their business that allow them to scale more quickly or scale more easily. So typically, I would work with them at different stages in their business. So and then I might go on and say, talk about some of my offers, right? So in my business mastermind, which I'm going to be launching it next month, that's really for women who typically earn between £2,000 and £5,000 a month, perhaps, are out the starting blocks, but they're not getting that consistent income. And it can feel a bit feast or famine, right? They're not having the impact that they want. Their income isn't consistent. It's stressing them out. And so they're just constantly feeling like they're spinning their wheels, that they're never really creating the traction that they want. And so I help them to create a 6-figure business that's aligned with who they are when they're at their best, and that has a real strong sense of ease. I share research-based performance strategies, I share business strategies, and I also really coach them around their mindset and their energy to really open themselves up to be that woman, to be that 6-figure business owner. With my private business clients, it tends to be women who really have a big mission that they want to change the world and they'd love to get to seven figures. And so typically we work on blah, blah, blah. So you get my gist, right? Is this making sense? Is it sounding good? Let's see if there's any comments. Learning lots, loving it. Yay, wonderful, wonderful. Okay. Oh, this is great. So Mary says, I had a recent experience where the alignment with the person's challenge spoke to my soul. And my soul spoke out to make the offer. Yes! Before your head could kick in and tell you not to. Is that what happened? That inspired action caught me off guard, but once the words were out of my mouth, I realised how right it all was. Oh, I love it. I love it, love it. That's just such a great example of ease and alignment, right? I love it. How powerful, Mary. Wonderful. Love to hear that. So the gear change, if we want to call it that, can be as simple as, so would you like me to share how I work with my clients? And you can also say, look, I don't think this is you, or this probably isn't you. But let me tell you more anyway, because maybe you know somebody that this is. Sorry, I just saw Mary's response. She says, "Yeah, but now I need to follow up." It's so funny. Sarah agrees with that. Um, last point, and then we'll touch on the follow up. Okay. So another thing that's really really important is have more than one offer. All right, have more than one offer available for people, because it's really great for you to be able to meet people with where they're at. So I call this a value ladder, right? And it's been able to, and it can take some time to build this up. Okay, if you've only got one offer right now, that's fine. Okay, but ideally you want a lower priced, a mid priced, and a higher priced offer, which is about and generally it would be connected to the amount of time that people get with you, the results and transformation that you support them to achieve, and how easy it is for you to scale and deliver that. Okay, again, I could do a whole masterclass on that, and you know what, I will, right? I will do a masterclass on that over the next few weeks. But it's just nice that you give people the choice to meet you with where they're at, because they might buy something from you that's £500, and then over the course of that time with you, if they're for you and you are able to help them to really grow and flourish and get a great return on their investment, then they can spend a lot more than that with you, and it's a fruitful relationship for you both. Right? It's a fruitful, lucrative relationship for you both. Another quick thing, always start with your highest offer first and then work your way down. It's just a really, really great way to do it. All right, start with your highest offer first and work your way down. Yeah, so you love that I used the word flourish, because sometimes business can feel like surviving, and we don't want it to feel like that, right? We don't want our business to feel like we're dragging ourselves through it, like just surviving. We want our business to be a container where we can like fly and flourish and have fun and go out into the world and do our thing and shine our light. And that's why picking approaches and strategies like for how you market and how you run your business, it's really important that that matches your personality, right? And what you love to do. Again, not to say that there aren't going to be areas where you need to get better at things and you need to grow in your confidence, your skills, your competence. But design a business. So I have a saying, I think everybody deserves a business that they fall in love with over and over again. So many people have this love-hate relationship, or just hate relationship with their business. And I just think it's so sad, because it's entirely unnecessary, right? Entirely unnecessary. Okay, so any other questions or comments? Let me just hop over to Facebook. Nothing that I can see. So let me talk to you about the don'ts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Don'ts. Yeah, because that was 6, wasn't it? So don't have an agenda, because let's just trust your people are out there and they are waiting for you to be found. Right? They're waiting for you to find them. That's the way of it. That's just the way the world works. You have people out there. If you're here with a mission to fulfill, there are people out there who are right for you. Okay? So that's number 1. Don't have an agenda. So it kind of links into that whole bit about don't listen to respond, right? Just show up and serve. Show up and serve. 2, I cannot stress how important this one is. Energetically, practically, just on every level. Do not put your financial struggles and situation onto your client. Do not do that, right? Now, what do I mean by that? It is not their responsibility to say yes to you because you feel desperate for a client or you feel desperate to make a sale. Right? Don't put that on them. And it kind of links into number 3, and like energy wise, right? It links into number 3, which is, when you're on a date, right? And they're just too keen. And you get that, I call it the slight reek of desperation. Nobody likes that. It's so repellent to your clients or your prospective clients, your potential clients. Like, don't be that gal, right? Don't be the one who has that, just that that, even if it's just a little bit. Because if you are there thinking, I need this, I need this, I need this, I need to make this happen today, like I've got to convert this today, I've got to make this sale today, you're going to be smelling of that. And that is not nice, because you're going to wait for the time to make the offer. You're just not going to be in an aligned energy, right? You're just not going to be. So yes, good. I'm just checking Facebook again. It's a breach of faith in yourself and your mission. Yeah, listen, if you've done it, I'm here to say I absolve you, right? I absolve you of all of the times when you were the one that reeked of that, had that kind of little desperate reek of desperation about you. I've been that so many times in the early days. Oh God, I just was like, I need to make this work. And yeah, like I now see the error of my ways. It just must have been awful, for the people that I was having. And some of them said yes, bless them. But don't be that, okay? It's the efforting thing. Yeah, exactly. You want to be fully present and connected, fully present and connected, so tuned into that individual on every level. Yes, and there's no effort in that because you're in flow, right? And that's how you know, ooh, this feels like I want more of this. And the client or prospective client's going to be like, ooh, this feels like I want more of this too. That's exactly what happened to me. I had a conversation this week with somebody who was referred to me, and it was just I just made it a pure connection call, zero agenda. I just wanted to hear where this woman was at. And it was a great call, and we did connect, and there was opportunity for me to support her. So we've arranged another call, but it was her that asked me, oh, how can we do more of this? I'd really like to do more of this. And I said, let's talk about what that could look like. It could be in the same call, but it wasn't appropriate to do that because we'd had our hour. And like I said, I didn't have any strategy to sell, right? None whatsoever. I wanted to purely connect with this woman and learn, connect and learn, and also be open to the opportunity to serve her in some way. But remember, the connecting is also about people being able to connect you, because it might be that you're having you've connected great, and that person's thinking, oh my God, the person that I work with, or my friend or my family member, they would be so perfect for you. You would be so perfect for them, which is also a great outcome from a connection call, as a referral. Oh, thanks, Mary. Mary says, what a great exemplar of a commitment to showing up to serve. Thank you. And yeah, let go of the outcome. Love that. Two more don'ts. I mean, there's so many more, right? And there's so many more do's, but let's stick to that for today. Don't be technical, or focus on the features too much, because people really don't care about that. Now, I get that some people do, and by all means, if they ask a question, don't avoid it, right? You need to be ready and prepared to talk about the nuts and bolts of your program or your offer, or your package, whatever, your product, whatever it might be. But don't do that thing where you start kind of, you go into that, you flick a switch and it's like, and it's this, and it's this, and it's this, and it's this, and it's this. Because people care less about that. What they really care about is, I've got a problem, can you help me? Can you help me with that? Can you help me feel better? Can you help me do this thing? Can you help me be more successful? Can you help me fix that thing? That's what people care about, okay? And how you do that, people care less about that, okay? So just remember that time is precious. And number 5, okay, this one is so important. Don't avoid the close. Ah! Right, don't avoid the close. Don't avoid closing the sale. Because if you have, here's the thing, right? If you're committed to making a difference in the world and you're committed to serving others in whatever way you serve, so for me, it's about being able to serve their transformation, right, and specific results in their business. But really, it's about helping them to be the fullest expression and the most powerful influencer that they came here to be. And the business is a vehicle for that, right? Don't back off, because that's not serving anybody. Don't back off when it gets to the point where it's like, so what do you think? How does that sound? Any questions? And let that person lead, right? Let that person say, I mean, that one sounds perfect for me. Or, I mean, you could say, if it's a sales conversation and you've talked about your programs or your products, you can say, so what do you think? Like, hypothetically, which one do you think would be the best fit for you? Yep, I absolutely think that too. And just let the conversation flow, right? Let them ask you, but don't make an offer before somebody's ready and is asking you to do that. But then don't back off on the close. Okay, so here's how we can make that happen. This is what it would look like. This is what this is how you would sign up. We do this, we do that, we do that, we do that. Good to go? Yeah. Don't back off on the close. What are some of the ways that, hey Kashini, I hope I'm saying that right. So, questions, comments. Mary says you make it all sound so simple. I know, like, I wish, yeah, like, it is so simple. And I think if there's one of the biggest learnings I've learned over the years, so I've had my business for I think about 5 years now, is how how easy it is to overcomplicate things, excuse me, that are really very simple. And I would say that I've stripped a lot out and almost like stripped back on a lot of this stuff. Even recently, even more recently, stripped way back on it. Because I have a much stronger faith and trust that if I show up and serve, if I show up and do my thing, the universe is going to provide, right? I just know that to be the case. And that might sound a bit woo-woo for some, but it's also about if I expend my energy, if I set an intention, if I align my actions with that intention, if I expend my energy in alignment with what it is that I want, my goals, my ambitions, my vision, my aim, then yeah, it can be quite simple. And each day I just need to keep taking one or two actions towards that, and the rest takes care of itself. Yeah, yeah. And so I would really encourage you to think about, all of you, what feels like a great way to connect for you? What is that? Do more of it, right? Do more of it. And just cut your teeth. So the question that I've got to kind of round things up and begin to close things is, I really want to know what's the one thing that you commit to doing to positively impact this area of your business, or to positively impact your ability to receive, to positively impact your ability to sell, however you want to position it for where you're at. And so while you're thinking about that, thank you, Sarah, for writing that in. While you're thinking about that, and I'm waiting for you to answer, here's what I want to just quickly touch on as well. If you are lacking the clients and the income and the impact that you would love to have, I want you to I'm going to set you a challenge, right? You up for that? You up for a challenge? I want you to brainstorm 100 people that you can reach out to. 100 people that you can reach out to. And remember, these are not necessarily people that you want to sell to, but they are people that feel aligned and resonant with where you're at and what it is you want to do more of in your business. Okay? So people who know someone who could be perfect for you, people who maybe their clients are the same type of clients that you want to attract, but they do something different, people that you've worked with before, people you would love to work with, people that you just admire and you would genuinely like to reconnect with them. And then set yourself a target, break it down. Maybe it's 10 people a day, maybe it's 10 people a week. The quicker you take action on this stuff, the quicker you will see results. Okay, so watch yourself if you feel yourself pulling back on this stuff. Okay, really watch for that, because this is about you going all in and see what happens. Pick up the phone, create the connections, see what happens, right? Apply what we have been exploring today, because I know that you have people out there who are waiting for you to find them. They are waiting for you to get in their world. They are waiting for you to show up to help them in the way that they so desperately, passionately need help. That's why you're here. So yes, get out of your own way. Ego, no room for you here. Because it's like the world has never, ever needed us more than it does right now. I think we can all agree on that, right? The world needs us. It needs us to step up. It needs us to, like, I feel really fiery about this. Can you tell? Mary says, amen. The world needs us to step up. It needs us to fucking get over ourselves and pick up the phone and connect with people. Right? And just see what happens. And you know what? Yes, it might feel clunky, and yes, it might feel a bit awkward. And guess what? Then it doesn't. Then it feels like the easiest thing in the world. And then it's like, woohoo! Who do I get to speak to today? How can I show up and serve someone today? Who can I create a positive impact with today? What could that look like? That transition, right, that transformation, that can happen in weeks. That can happen in 1 week. If you prioritize that in your business, go commit to it and go all in. Love you too. So final questions, comments, final questions. Bring the challenge on, including people you don't know. Yeah, that's a great question, Luciana. A great question. Yes, you can do outreach in that way with people that you don't know. If it's always just a bit harder, right? You're going to have to work a bit harder for the connection, and to find something in common. So I would say, if it's someone that you don't know, be clear on your reason for wanting to connect with them and tell them that. Right? So maybe it's someone who, like if somebody reached out to me and was like, hey Mel, I saw you do this on Facebook and I really liked it. It'd be great to catch up sometime. So in fact, last week I had someone reach out to me. So funny. This is a funny story, right? So I live on an island with 140 people, and I live in this little bubble where I'm like, nobody knows what I do. It's really great. I don't need to talk about what I do. I kind of, it's interesting. I just like to do this stuff with my clients and online, and kind of talk about it less in my social life, right? I don't know why that is. It just is. I think because it's so hard to explain sometimes what you do. Anyway, lo and behold, the woman who runs the shop, who might even watch this video, Katrina, her daughter-in-law's got a podcast. Hey Laura, if you watch this, her daughter-in-law's got a podcast, And she was just like, you would so be perfect on this podcast. So then the daughter reached out to say, it would be really great to connect. I'm actually really interested in becoming a coach, and I've got this podcast, and would you be interested in coming on as a guest? And I was like, hell yeah, let's talk. Like, let's just have a call and chat and connect. So something like that, there was a reason that for me, it felt like that's an easy reason to say, yeah, I'd like to talk to you. Yeah, Luciana says you needed to hear that. Get over yourself and pick up the phone. That's where you're currently at. Yeah, like honestly, I think it's a core part of so many of our journeys. To just do it. You just need to do it a wee bit scared. And the reason that I've covered what I have today is because I wanted to diffuse all of the fear and the like the negative emotion that can come with this stuff, because actually this is easy and it is dead simple, right? It really is. So challenge is 100 names, carve them up, reach out and connect, right? Send an email, send a messenger, send a voice message. Hey, and just depend on, don't do a cut and paste, right? Do them individual for everybody, right? To a degree, right? And it only has to be a few sentences. And it's people that you genuinely want to connect with. And again, use your intuition. So do not reach out to people that don't feel aligned or a fit in some way with what it is that you have to offer, because that's just a time waste. And actually it's probably going to just confuse you and send you down rabbit holes which are unnecessary. All right. So I love this. Mary says practice alignment with your mission before you have a call. Yes, before and after the call, to protect your focus and energy, to preserve your alignment. Love it. That is such a great action to take. If you're able to just connect with that. Oh, and the roadmap. So I've designed, I'm really excited about it. Sierra has shared the link. The roadmap to your 6-figure business with alignment and ease. One of the steps in the roadmap is mission. In fact, it's the first one. So the roadmap is a coaching tool. It's powerful. It's new. I would love you to take it. I'd love you to try it. I'd love you to give me feedback. And so it looks at mission, the mission of your business, your message, who you want to work with and how you want to call them in, your marketing, what are you doing, what are you not doing, what could you do, your methodology, what's unique about what you do, how can you differentiate yourself in the marketplace. This is one of the core things that I teach that's different. Is helping you to design a signature methodology which really elevates your position in the marketplace and allows you to earn more, and really talk about what you do with a lot more confidence and management. And so that's about having a business with the right systems and processes and the right people and all that kind of stuff. Mindset and money. So mindset and money we've touched on a lot today. So over the next 6 weeks or so, 4 to 6 weeks, thank you for sharing it again, Sierra, I am going to be running more of these masterclasses. I'm going to be running masterclasses on each of those different steps of the roadmap that we talked about. And you know why I'm doing it? Because I love to do this. You can probably tell, right? I love to show up and serve. I love to show up and serve. And I know that by me showing up and serving, I'm going to do good in the world today. And I also know that for those of you where this has awakened something in you, where you think, oh my God, I think I need to do some more work here, you can reach out to me. You can set up a call with me, a business breakthrough session, where we identify what's the biggest thing you can do in your business right now to create a breakthrough and to create, a quantum leap in your business, exponential growth in your business. And also, is there a fit for me to support you with that? Okay. But right now, take the roadmap. It's my gift. I really want to get it out there in the world. Share it with anyone that you think would benefit from it. Share the link, please, rather than the document, because that helps me keep track. And let's see if there's anything. Any other comments? Thanks again for sharing it on Facebook, Sierra. So, how to make selling your superpower? What do you think? Is it possible? Can you learn to love selling? I think you can. And here's the thing I want to end on, and this is important. If you are here with a soul aligned mission and purpose, it is nothing less than your sacred duty to get out there, make yourself visible, get found by your clients, find your clients, sell them your services, sell them what it is you have to give. That's why you're here. So, and Denise, so good to see you here, my love. It's been a while. Please, 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 any more questions? Write them in the comments. I'm going to be checking them. Feel free to reach out by message to me, and do download the roadmap and have a lot of fun with it. So thank you so much for being here. I don't think there's any other comments, but I'll hop on and as I said, I'll hop on and check that just to make sure I've not missed anything. Okay, so you will see me same time, I think on Monday, where I am going to do a deep dive into the roadmap, and we're going to explore all 8 pillars of the roadmap. And yeah, and toodles Mary. So I'll see you then. And like I said, there's going to be more of these masterclasses incoming. So look forward to seeing you then. Okay, folks, take care. Bye.